I've been a rideshare driver in Chicago for nearly 5 years, mostly driving late-night shifts. The streets are quieter, the money's better, and honestly, I like the solitude. But every once in a while, you pick up a ride that stays with you forever, haunting your thoughts long after it's over. This happened just a few months ago, and even now, the memory still sends chills down my spine. If I had known what that night had in store for me, I would have never left my house. It was a Friday night in December, just past 2 a.m. The city was alive with drunk partygoers and the occasional stumbling businessman. My shift had been normal up to that point. Nothing unusual, just the usual loud passengers and bar-hopping couples. But then, I got a request from a place I knew well, an old abandoned hospital on the south side. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Who the hell would be there at this time of night? But the request didn't cancel, and curiosity got the better of me. Against my better judgment, I accepted it and drove toward the location. As I approached, the area grew darker. Most streetlights were broken, and the hospital loomed in the distance, a rotting shell of its former self. The city had shut it down years ago, but rumors swirled that people still squatted there. I slowed my car to a crawl, scanning the sidewalk. That's when I saw him. A man stood alone under a flickering streetlight, wearing a black hoodie with the hood pulled tight around his face. His posture was stiff, unnatural, like he didn't belong there. Something about him felt wrong. I had a bad feeling, but I unlocked the doors anyway. He slid into the back seat without a word. The moment the door shut, a suffocating tension filled the air. I could hear his heavy breathing, deep, ragged, like he had been running. "Where to?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. He didn't respond right away. Instead, he leaned forward, just enough for me to see his face in the mirror. His eyes, I swear to God, they were too wide, like he was forcing them open. His lips curled into a small, unsettling smile. Then, in a whisper, he finally spoke. "Drive." That was it. Just one word. No destination, no explanation. My stomach twisted, but I didn't argue. I put the car in drive and pulled away from the hospital, watching him carefully in the rear-view mirror. For the first few minutes, he just stared at me. His eyes never blinked, never moved away from mine. I could feel the air getting heavier with each second. Then, out of nowhere, he spoke again. "You ever pick up someone you shouldn't have?" A shiver ran down my spine. His voice was low, almost amused. I forced a chuckle and shook my head. "I hope not." He let out a slow, rasping laugh. "Yeah, that would be bad." I gripped the wheel tighter, checking the GPS. We were heading nowhere. The map showed empty streets ahead, no clear destination. "Where am I taking you?" I asked, my voice coming out more nervous than I wanted it to. He didn't answer. Instead, he pulled something from his pocket. I braced myself, expecting a knife, a gun, anything, but it was just a photograph. He reached forward and handed it to me. I hesitated before taking it, my fingers shaking as I glanced at it. My blood ran cold. It was a picture of me, not from my rideshare profile. Number this was different. It was taken from inside my house. I recognized my kitchen in the background, my fridge, my damn coffee mug on the counter. I nearly slammed on the brakes. My pulse pounded in my ears. My breath came out shallow. How did you get this?" I whispered. His smile widened. "You left your back door unlocked. It's dangerous to be so careless." I couldn't breathe. My mind raced through every possibility. Had he been inside my home, watching me, waiting? Then, before I could react, he leaned in close, whispering near my ear. "Don't go home tonight." That was it. I slammed on the brakes. The car skidded to a stop in the middle of the street. My heart was hammering so hard, I thought it would burst from my chest. "Get the hell out," I growled, my voice shaking with adrenaline. But he just grinned at me, unfazed. Slowly, he opened the door and stepped out, never breaking eye contact. He didn't run. He didn't even look around. He just walked away, disappearing into the darkness like he had never been there at all. I sat there for what felt like hours, gripping the wheel until my knuckles turned white. Then, without thinking, I sped straight to a hotel. I didn't go home. I didn't even call anyone. The next morning, I finally worked up the courage to check my security cameras. What I saw made my stomach drop. At 1:48 a.m., just before I got that ride request, the cameras showed a dark figure standing in my backyard, staring at my house. He stood there, motionless, for almost an hour. At 2:03 a.m., he moved, straight toward my back door, and then the footage cut to black. I reported everything to the police, but they didn't find anything. No fingerprints, no forced entry, nothing. But I know what I saw, and I know one thing for sure. He's still out there, watching, waiting for me to make another mistake.